Hello and welcome to Sci-Fi Radio Theater, the internet's #1 source of original science fiction, horror, and fantasy radio play podcasts. Our podcast can be downloaded from iTunes or on our website at www.scifiradio.theater.com. Before we get started with our story tonight, we would like to take a moment to tell you about a high-quality product from our sponsor, Wally Worrywart. Hey moms, have you ever come home late from a hard day at work and not known what to make for dinner? The kids are hungry, the husband's hungry, and heck, even the dog's hungry. But who has the time these days to cook a full, nutritious, and delicious meal for the family? Now, thanks to the scientists at Wally Worrywart, the answer is you. Introducing Wally Worrywart's Mashed Potatoes, the full-size meal that can be prepared in under 5 minutes. Utilizing the scientifically balanced mixture of potatoes and cardboard, anyone can now be a master chef for their family. Simply take a new packet of Wally Worrywart's mashed potatoes and blow into the straw on the front of the package. Then step back and watch as what first seems like a lifeless piece of cardboard turns into a full-size mashed potato dinner for 5. That's Wally Worrywart's Mashed Potatoes, available at your local grocer. And now, it's time for the story of the Bagua Twee Box. An 8-part science fiction murder mystery. Episode 1, The Woman, the Robot, and the Box. Set in futuristic Boston, robots, referred to as nodes, are a part of everyday life. However, after taking a case from a mysterious woman, private investigator Otto Vainikainen and his assistant Patricia are about to be thrown into a series of events that will cause them to find out that there is more to these seemingly lifeless drones than the world originally thought. It all starts simply in a cold, dark, secret basement somewhere in the city.
No. I won't. You don't scare me. Just lock me up, throw away the button, cut me to pieces and leave it for the rats. I don't care. I won't.
You will acquire the Kanyuja.
Okay. Okay.
Patricia. Oh, Patricia. My sweet Ingvina. Can you hear me? My dearest and lovely, delicate flower of a lady, Patricia. Can you hear me?
God damn it, Otto! Son of a bitch. Va te faire foutre.
Hey, baby. I don't pay you to read. I pay you, to, I don't know, intercede or something like that.
You're such a word slinger.
Thank you. Any messages?
Let me see. Tom Erno wants to know if you've got his wife screwing around on him yet.
Yep, done.
Mikhailovich needs you to testify in a deportation hearing.
Again?
They found coke.
No, he's on his own.
Michelle Jonesworth wants you to investigate an important item known as her underpants.
Ooh.
And finally, a man named Arthur Madison called is being accused of plagiarizing parts of his book and thinks he's being framed. He wants you to investigate.
Arthur Madison. Where do I recognize that name from?
I guess he's a semi-famous writer.
I'll think about it.
And that's it.
Okay.
How was your day?
Oh, it was fine. The Julian Markberger case is wrapped up now. I found her father dead. He was involved with the JP section of the Hedon cult and got in over his head. I found him more or less bisected in the house by the pond. The cultists had cleared out, though.
For a group that's into hedonism, they sure do like to maim.
Yeah, tell me about it. Oh, before I forget, I found a random hand bone lying in the house. Here you go.
Ah! I actually have a necklace I'm half done with that this would work well in.
Cool. I'm gonna go do some billing. Feel free to send people through.
Okay. Hello? Hello? Oh, sorry. Hello, can I help you? Yes, I'm looking for Mr. Vainikainen. Yes, what's your name? Barbara Dia. One moment, please. Otto, you have a Barbara Dia to see you.
Send her in.
Go ahead, thank you.
Hello, Mrs.
Miss.
Hello, Miss Dia. Please have a seat.
Thanks.
Now, what did you want to see me about?
My brother was murdered. The police have been trying to find the killer for 6 months, but have come up with nothing, and I'm thoroughly convinced they will not be finding anything anytime soon. I want you to find the killer since the police can't.
What makes you think that I would do a better job than the police force?
Because I'm going to give you information that I can't give them.
Okay, so what's this additional information?
I'll only tell you after you accept the case. I guarantee I can pay your expenses.
Miss Dia, just because you can pay the cost of investigation doesn't mean that I'll take the case. Already you're telling me that your brother was mixed up in something sinister enough that you wouldn't tell the police even after he was dead? This tells me that your case may be too dangerous for me to stick my neck out for. Unless you can give me some more details into what I'll be getting into here, I won't be able to help you.
All right. Homer, my brother, was a drug addict. When he had died, he'd gotten pretty involved in the scene. I'm not sure exactly what happened to him, but I know he had started doing a new drug that had recently come into Boston about a month or two ago. He called me a couple weeks before he was killed while he was high on it. He was rambling about how it was some new thing. He didn't give me a name for what the drug actually was. He just kept saying how he felt like his brain or soul or something like that had been opened up. Later, a streetwalker node found him dead in its brothel. His heart had been cut out.
Cut out?
Yes. The police said it appeared to have been done with something other than a conventional knife, but they've never been able to find the actual weapon.
Sounds like this was some kind of revenge killing. Perhaps a drug deal went bad and someone wanted to send a message.
My thoughts as well.
Who would they have wanted to send a message to, though?
I don't know.
Are you sure it wasn't you? Were you involved with the drugs at all?
No, never.
Anyone else you may have known, then?
Homer and I were not particularly close. I don't know who his associates may have been.
Okay, so why can't you tell the police he was a drug addict, then?
Homer was an engineering professor at BIT, and as part of his employment, he was given a generous life insurance policy. As Homer was not married, did not have a wife or child, and the fact that her parents are dead, I'm the recipient of the insurance money. However, there's a clause in the insurance policy that if it's discovered that he was on illegal drugs, the policy would be canceled. If I were to tell the police, they would by law have to report it to the insurance company, and I would be out of a lot of money.
But surely the police would have figured out that he was a drug addict when they did the autopsy.
That's the thing, though. They found nothing. No traces of any drugs whatsoever. Whatever this new drug is, it was able to get past their tests.
All right. Then, Ms. Dia, the cost is $500 a day plus expenses. If you can afford that, I will take your case.
I can afford it.
Very well. Then I have a few more questions about your brother. Do you know how long he'd been a drug addict for?
Well, he'd always experimented, but it hadn't gotten bad until about 2 years ago.
Drug of choice?
Well, before the new drug came along, he was pretty much always on Melinda X.
Any known dealers?
Not that I know of. We didn't talk much after he told me he was on Melinda X.
Speaking of that, how was your relationship with your brother the few months prior to his death?
More or less non-existent. Except for the occasional hallucinogenic-fueled phone call, we almost never spoke.
It seems strange he would be able to hide his habit from his colleagues and students at his job.
I agree. Again, I'm not sure how he did it. We never spoke.
So I suppose that means you don't know who his colleagues were then.
I'm sorry, I don't. I do know he worked in the robotics department, though.
Miss Dia, I have to say it seems a bit bizarre to me that you seem somewhat cold about the murder and maiming of your brother.
What do you want me to say, Mr. Vainakainen? I didn't agree with his lifestyle, and tried to distance myself from him as much as I could.
Then why go through all the trouble of trying to find his killer, if you didn't even like him? And why would he put you on his insurance policy?
For the insurance policy, as I said before, he had no next of kin or wife. I was the next closest person. Also, despite my disagreements with Homer, he still thought fondly of me. He would call me a couple times a month just to talk. As for finding his killer, well, he's family.
But if finding his killer would put the money you are receiving at risk, it just doesn't seem worth it to me. Even if he was family, it doesn't sound like you were particularly sisterly to him.
Again, not sure what to say. It's easy to ignore and hate your own brother when he's alive. I found it much more difficult when he's dead. I suppose I need the closure.
Fair enough. I'm not a psychiatrist, I won't press you on this anymore. I just want you to think about why you would actually want this investigated.
Understood?
Okay. What about the brothel?
Yes, he was found in the one on Washington Street. I believe the note that found him was number 8. The police interviewed it after the body was found.
And the police, what have they been able to find so far?
Not much. As I said, they never found the weapon. The nodes at the brothel weren't able to recall him even entering the building. Of course, there were no security cameras at the brothel, so we weren't able to get any information from that either.
Okay. Well, that's a start. Is there a place I can reach you when I find anything more out?
Yes, here's my number, and I also work as a librarian at the public library. If you ask for me at the front desk, they can lead you in the right direction. I'm writing down my card number too, so you can just bill me right to there.
Very well.
Thank you, Mr. Vainakainen.
Get all that?
Yep, got it all recorded.
What do you think?
I think the phrase would be a little too convenient.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to tell if she's hiding whatever she's hiding out of trying to protect her brother or because of something else.
I'm surprised you took the case.
Well,